Welcome to our focus and clarity session for today at Consulting Unleashed. Today, our topic, rapid agency cash flow strategies, something that is very important. Now, I've touched on some of these ideas in previous trainings, but what I want to do is bring a concept into this training where you can actually zero in and focus on just income generating activities only. Nothing else, just income generating activities only. And so I've got a really simple system and a strategy to share with you. If you focus on this, I'll guarantee you're going to be bringing cash into your business. Some of you might be doing it in the next few hours if you apply what I'm about to share with you. So to get into it, I know we've got a whole bunch of people here. Welcome to this training. We are recording this training. It is going to be placed in our YouTube channel, in our Facebook group at Consulting Unleashed. If you go to consultingunleashed.com/go, G-O, you can get access to all the YouTube channel stuff, access to training, the Facebook group, a whole bunch of stuff is actually in there for you. That is at consultingunleashed.com, G-O, go. So you can go there. However, let's get rocking and rolling because your time is precious and I want to be able to answer your questions as well. Let's do it. We've had some wins. This happened in the last 24 hours. We had Lauren here who closed the deal, 5K. In fact, Lauren applied one of the strategies I'm going to share with you today to close that $5,000 deal. We had Brian here who literally saw our training or my training yesterday and went in and applied the training straight away, sold a $2,598 per month client in a SaaS. That means the client is going to be sticky. So that's roughly about nearly 30 grand a year just by applying some of the strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So that's just to give you perspective. This happened in the last 24 hours, which is all good to see. I get people chiming into me all the time. And the funny thing is when I talk about this particular topic, it seems to spark revenue. So hopefully, if you're watching this video, once it's loaded up, you apply some of the tactics I'm sharing with you today, that you may see that cash flow that you so richly deserve in your bank account. And so to give an example of what happens when you apply the training, and these people have been through sessions with me, some of them, a lot of them have been my clients, but I'll just give you an example of what goes on when you actually apply in real time, right? So James here, $10,000 a month client, $120,000 a year for a client. Becky, first client ever. She'd never sold anything to anybody, goes and sells a $15,000 funnel with a $1,000 support package for the funnel. She'd never sold that for in her life. She went out there and she did it. And it happened really, really fast. Nikki here made one offer. She changed her offering. She was charging originally $6,000 for this service that she provided. And she sat there and said, you know what? It's worth so much more. So she literally, after getting off the training, hopped onto a call with a prospective customer, offered the deal at $30,000 a month for her coaching, $30,000 for 6 months. She normally charges $6,000 for 6 months, $1,000 a month. But because she does such amazing transformational stuff with her clients, she thought, to hell with this, I'm going to go and offer this to a client. 30K, like that happened literally within minutes of applying the tactics and the strategies that I've shared with you. Chloe here closed another deal. This is her first LinkedIn lead gen deal, $4,150 for a website. AdWords and social media and LinkedIn, Facebook after, so she went and upsold. What Chloe did was she went and made a direct offer. She'd never made a direct offer before. She went, hey, this is a money offer. I want to sell a website. She had this really weird, odd number, $4,150 in her head. She thought, hey, I'm going to do a value stack, make the offer, make the sale. Right. So what we're going to be covering today, cash flow focus, right? We're going to talk about focusing on cash flow, revenue generating activity, rapid cash flow method. I'm going to share a method that you can speed up the process of generating cash. Action steps. I'm going to give you a very simple focus to apply the training I'm about to share. And then we have Q&A. I just want to make sure, just so everybody's here, Sam says, before you start, I'm just saying right now that I will do exactly what you say to do and to a T. Sam, music to my ears. Apply, get feedback, learn, right? What is GHL, James? It is high level, go high level, right? As a service. So I talked about the concept of using automated backend software. Brian sold that for $2,850 a month, right? A month for software, marketing support and follow-up, $2,850 a month. So that's pretty cool. let's get into, so I just want to make sure you can hear and see my slides. Just type 1. I just want to make sure that we're interactive here on your screen, on your keyboard. Just type 1 in the chat, just so I know that we're here. You're seeing Damien Patworth. Good to see you here. All right. So a reminder for me, Damien, I've got to call you today. Lou, awesome, great. All right. So we're here. Okay. So very, very quickly, I'm going to walk you through this. It's not very hard as a process and a system. And let's make it happen. So what you focus on most becomes real to you, right? If we focus on an empty wallet and we keep looking at an empty wallet, all we are going to see is an empty wallet. And we need to fill that wallet. We need to fill that bank account, right? So the activities that you do on a day-to-day basis will have an impact on how you add income or revenue to your business. And what most people do is they focus on secondary or time wasting or things that they can be outsourcing rather than focusing on generating income. All I'm going to ask of you is 1 hour. 1 hour a day that is dedicated to what we call a primary income generating activity. 1 hour, not 10 hours, not 8 hours a day, not 5 hours a day. It's not going to happen. Just 1 hour. If we had 1 hour a day, that's 20 hours in a month. I'll guarantee you're going to generate 4 to 5 clients if you dedicate this 1 hour and improve the quality and effectiveness of that hour. So let me walk you through, right? So immediate revenue, things that I would do to get money straight away, right? Number 1, send out any outstanding invoices now. If you've got an invoice sitting out there that needs to be paid and you haven't sent it out, it's really hard to get paid on an invoice that hasn't been sent out. So for me, I'm looking, have we invoiced every single person? In our model and methodology with agencies, we recommend you get paid in advance, not in arrears. So you only invoice once at the beginning of the agreement and the client pays you every month. So you don't need to have multiple invoices, right? But if you do invoice, if you are invoicing and you've got an invoice that hasn't been paid, but you're sitting on it, get it out today. That's the first thing you need to do when you get off this call. If you've got an invoice, send that invoice out to somebody. Number 2, very important, follow up any outstanding payments now. Anybody owes you money, you need to follow that up. The longer they owe you money, the less likely they're going to pay, or the less likely it is important enough for them to pay. You need to remind people very politely and very nicely that they owe you money and they need to pay it. So if you get into a situation of invoicing, and this is the mistake a lot of agencies make, is they invoice their clients every 30 days. If you invoice your clients every 30 days, you're going to be paid every 40 to 50 days to 60 days, right? So what you want to do is you get pay on invoice. Always work towards getting paid in advance, not in arrears. If you are invoicing clients, then you need to have an understanding with your client that the client must pay on that day, right, that they receive the invoice, or they agree to pay on the day. So let me give you an example of where this gets sticky. Right now, I'm working with Patrick, one of our champions. He's about to close a $700,000 Facebook ad deal. $700,000, that's the management fee, by the way. That's not the ad spend. That's the management fee, 700 grand for management fee, right? That's not too bad. It's not too shabby, right? But the client that he's dealing with is a big company, and they're saying to him, Patrick, we want to pay in 45 days. We know that you charge 30 days, but you need to put in your agreement that we can pay 45 days. Now, here's what's going to happen. If he agrees to that 45-day term that the client is saying, just for the sake of closing the deal, if that's what it's going to take to close the deal, there is a risk, because what's going to happen is that client's going to stretch that 45-day payment to 60 days. That means that he's going to generate payment. He's going to be in arrears or behind 60 days, every 60 days. Now, that is a terrible cash flow situation to put your business in. So I said to Patrick, you've got to stick to your guns and say, listen, when Facebook bills you, they get paid straight away. They don't wait 30 days to get paid. They're billing you as you're spending it, right? So you are offering the service, you have to get paid minimum 30 days, preferably in advance, not in arrears. So we've set up the deal that he gets paid in advance. They've agreed to it. So they've actually stepped out of their 45-day strategy and now agreed to a 30-day, we're going to pay on time every month, right? So he stuck to his guns. He didn't lose the deal because of that. That was not a deal breaker for the deal. It was just that the company was very cleverly managing their cash flow by saying, hey, we take care of invoices every 45 days, which means they really take care of their invoices every 60 days, right? So they delay payment and hang on to the cash, which from a business point of view can be very smart. However, from a service provider's point of view, very inconvenient. get paid. Anybody outstanding payments, ask for them to be paid. Now, some people have an accounts department. In my company, I have an accounts department. That accounts department is responsible for paying our bills, for paying our salaries, for paying, for making our purchases, right? That's where the accounts department lives, right? So if you're having to deal with an accounts department, what you need to do is go to the person who's responsible for paying the bills, introduce yourself, say, hey, Mary, it's John here. Look, we've got an agreement with the company. I just want to email that agreement over to you. In that agreement, it states that your company has agreed to pay on this day. What can we do to make sure that this actually is happening? Because at the end of the day, if it isn't paid on that day, then we actually switch off the services. And we don't want to have an impact, or we don't want to switch the services off. So what can we do to make sure that this bill is at the top of the pile on the month, right? So that way, if you're really nice to this person will pay your bill first, right? Because they see the agreement. It is not their money. They're the accounts department. They don't own the cash, right? They're just going to do what they're told, right? Let's manage the billing cycles. Good financial controller manages billing cycles, right? But if you say, hey, we've got an agreement, this is something the company signed off on, your CEO has signed off on this, we just need to make sure that this occurs. So I'm just nudging you to letting you know that we need to make sure that this payment is taken care of on time. Is that okay with you? That's awesome. Thank you very much. Send her some chocolates. She'll love you forever, or he will love you forever, right? He or she, doesn't matter who it is, right? But if they have a certain way of paying, now, for example, I've worked on government contracts. Now, the government never pays on time. Sometimes the government will stretch you out for 90 days. So you're going to work for 3 months for free until you get paid, and then you're going to work another 3 months for free until you get paid. That plan doesn't work with me, right? So whenever I've worked with government departments or government bodies on major projects, I've always negotiated we are paid in advance. In fact, it's amazing how some government department, finance, accounting departments, when they've seen how we've structured this deal, they go, you know what? I don't know how you did this, but we never pay anybody in advance like this. We always pay in arrears. That's part of our moratorium to manage cash flow. I said, well, we write into the agreement, they sign the agreement, they pay. If you run an ad campaign with a newspaper, you don't get to pay that bill in 30 days' time. They take the payment up front, because they don't run the ads unless you pay, right? So how are we any different, right? I incur a cost. This is how we get paid. We work it into the agreement that you agree to pay. Follow up any outstanding payments. You're going to make more cash flow. Follow proposal from the last 3 months. That deal that Lauren closed, that 5K deal, was somebody she spoke to 6 months ago who adamantly said no to her. 6 months later, she calls the guy up a few days ago, says, hey, what are you doing? What's changed? Things are happening. And they go, you know what? We've got to start to advertise. We've got to start to put some marketing budget in. So they agree to $5,000 a month, right, for management fees, right? Interesting scenario, right? Make an offer to somebody who you've spoken to 3, 6, 12 months ago. This is the first thing I do at the beginning of every month. I look at all the deals in our company that we've made presentations to and go, great, let's do a quick assessment on, what was the conversation like? What didn't we answer? What questions did we answer? Has anything changed? Are we doing anything new that we can go back to these people with and say, hey, here's something new. You didn't buy back then. What's happening right now? You'll be amazed that when you do this strategy, you will pick up sales, right? To me, I'm always going, where is the low-hanging fruit to bring cash flow in? That's number one priority, right? The last one, make an appointment with anyone who said, call me next month, call me in a few weeks. Anybody says, hey, look, can you call me back or can you get on the phone? Get on the phone. Say, hey, listen, you told me to call you. Let's set up that time. I'll get on my calendar right now. Hop on your calendar as we're talking. 2 o'clock or 9 a.m. in the morning, which day suits you best? Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday, 9 a.m., good. I'm going to send you an email. Let's make an appointment, right? If you want immediate revenue, right? These are 4 things that I know that are going to generate immediate revenue for your business if you do these 4 things, right? So let's talk about I want cash and I want it now, right? We want to create an exclusive offer. If we don't create an exclusive offer, it's really hard for somebody to buy something from us, right? Most people don't offer anything at all. How many people here have got a direct offer out right now in the marketplace? Anybody got an offer right now? How many people got an offer? There's a whole bunch of people on here that should be like, all of you should have, just type in 1 if you've got an offer right now, okay? Right now, just type 2 if you're making an offer every single day. Who's making an offer every single day or 5 days a week? Just type 2 if you're making a direct offer, you're running a campaign to a fresh person every day. Howard's doing that, yep. Eric's doing that every day, yep, every day, right? ultimately what's going to happen is you're going to build up the cadence, the muscle of improving your offer. What I want to do is I want to go and test an offer with 10 or 15 people. I don't want to test the offer with 100 people or 1,000 people. I just want to test the offer with 10 or 15 people and say, listen, I've put this together for you. You and a handful of other people who've got this need to get your feedback on it. Do you like the idea? Do you think it's cool? Is there something else that you need to know, right? Do that every day. I'll guarantee you're going to make sales in that vein, right? So understand that you want to make it time and quality sensitive. Hey, listen, I'm only doing this for this week. Hey, we're going to give you $5,000 towards your SEO campaign just for this week. You've got till Friday if you want to do SEO, right? So you can make it time sensitive. Why am I giving you $5,000 cash? That's the setup fee that I'm giving you. Or we've got Damien Papworth here at Globotel, gives you $1,000 towards SEO. Price that out at $3,000 for your client. Say, hey, we're giving away $3,000 worth of SEO to every client that signs up with us this week. Right, there's a great offer, right? Set a target and a simple plan to execute. For me, I want to close a deal every day. That's the goal. I want to get one deal every day. That means I've got to go and send out an offer, test it out. I've got 1 hour in my day to follow that up. And the idea is to get a deal, right? That's the kill. Set a target, set a plan. Follow up the list, get feedback. We don't need to go to hundreds or thousands of people. Just go to between 5 and 10. Say, look, I'm just touching base. And here's the classic thing, right? If we've got a reason to follow up, we're giving people a reason to follow up. So in our strategy, we make whatever the offer is and say, listen, I'm just going to touch base with you because I only handed this off to like a handful of people. I'm going to call you today just to touch base to get feedback on this offer. So when I call the gatekeeper or I call the person, right, I'll guarantee you 99.9% of the time they haven't seen my offer. Guarantee you, right? So the reason I'm calling is I said that I was going to follow up. So when I call the gatekeeper, I say, listen, Tom knows that I'm calling because I'll let him know. Just let him know John's on the line. Thank you for putting me through, Susan. Thank you for putting me through, Susan. Just assume that she's going to put you through. And then she's going to get all kerfuffled and go, okay, boom, get you out of there, right? Solves the problem, get you off the phone. So that's a fast way to get through the gatekeeper. So, hey, Tom's knows that I'm calling him. I'll let him know. Can just let him know that John's on the phone. Thank you, Susan, for putting me through. I really appreciate you doing that. Bing, right? 70% of the time, you're going to get straight through the gatekeeper, straight to the person. Tom, how you doing? I shot you an email today. Told you I was going to give you a call. Here I am. Look, have you seen the email? No. What email is this, John? Okay, great. Look, if you give me 60 seconds, you can let me know whether or not this is something relevant to you. Is that okay? He'll go, yes. And then all you have to do is read your offer. So listen, we've approached 5 companies. We're giving away $3,000 worth of cash to SEO programs this week. And at the end of the day, this is something that I know right now, being visible, being found online is something that's really important to you. So I was wondering if that offer is something that would be of interest to you, right? And he might go, send me some more information. Great, I can do that. Right? Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions and you can ask some questions, right? So now I'm going to resend the same email and I might put a little bit of context in our conversation. But the funny thing about this strategy, it gets you talking to the decision maker. That's how fast you can get somebody on the phone, right? Lewis, a guy that I worked with in Champions, he used to do the whole, send a few emails, follow up emails, and every single person said, I didn't get your email. So then he stopped sending emails and he just called and said, hey, did you get my email? Oh, no, I didn't get your email, right? And so he just started making appointments without even sending the email. But he used the email. You can use the email as an excuse. And if you tell people that you are going to follow them up and call them in the area of the PS or at the bottom of your email, that's a call to action on your part. Look, the reason I'm just touching base with you is we've put this out. We know that it's relevant. We just want to know if it's relevant for you. If you give me 60 seconds, you can let me know whether or not we should continue the conversation. Otherwise, I'm going to say thank you for your time. Fair enough? I go, yep. It is the easiest conversation you will ever have. Fast, furious, money in bank, right? So create a sequence, automate. Now, once you get the offer right and it works, then create a sequence and automate that follow-up, automate the process of follow-up for people, right? So teach what you know offer, right? Best strategy on the planet is to teach people what you know. A lot of people don't do this. Some people do this. Has anybody here that's on here right now? I'm just going to look at the chat here. Has anybody, just go yes or type 1 if you have taught somebody what you know and they've become a customer. Who's used the teaching method to generate a client? Just type 1. Brian's used it. James used it. Damien's used it, right? Howard used it. And isn't it interesting? We've all used this method to go and get a client. And yet, how many people are actually still utilizing this method? It's one of the easiest way to get customers. Show people what they can do and then ask them a question. Say, hey, you can do all of this stuff, or would you like to see how we can do it for you? You've got a 50-50 chance of making a sale with every single person you teach, right? Hey, all this stuff that you're putting out there that's working, right? All this stuff to get this thing happening, right? You can do all that. It's going to take you time. There's some tech, there's some know-how, there's optimization, there's all those things that you're perhaps not familiar with. Or can I show you how we can help you do this and get this done? Because they're going to go, yeah, this is great. I didn't realize it took so much to get a Facebook ad campaign together. Or I didn't realize we have to do A/B split testing. I didn't realize anything about optimization. We don't know how to do any of that sort of stuff. But you've just taught us how. But what are they going to remember for that? Nothing, right? So wouldn't it be cool if we could just implement it? What if we took care of that for you? It is the easiest sales pitch you will ever have. Easiest sales pitch in the world. Teach what you know. Josh Boland, one of the guys, one of the champions, got really stuck with this whole lead generating. He worked in the insurance industry, did Facebook ads for the insurance industry. The problem with what he did was that he made it very difficult for himself because he got caught up in the whole sales process thing. So what he said to me, he says, look, John, I'm really good at copywriting and I'm really good at creating ads. What if I just taught people how to do that and I can charge them for it? I said, yeah, you could. I said, how much do you want to charge? I said, $2,000. Great. So you're talking about doing it done with $2,000. You're going to help them out. They're going to apply, generate results. You get paid. No more free strategy sessions, right? And he goes, yeah, so great, offer this in group. So he goes out and offers this for the first time to 5 people, and 5 people accept and pay him $2,000 for it, right? 5 people say, yep, I'll do $2,000. I'll do this. I'm in. I want to learn exactly how to do Facebook ads for the insurance industry, right? Now, he walked him through a program. It wasn't even his program. He had it licensed to him and branded for him. He was paying $300 per unit. So he was making $1,600 out of every sale, right? $1,600 profit out of every sale. And all he had to do was walk people through the process, right? But here's what happened on day one. Every single person said, wow, there's so much in this. I don't really have the time to do this, Josh. Can your team do this for us? How much would it cost us for your team to do this for us, right? And he said to all 5 people, so you want us to do it? So look, let's take the $1,900 as a deposit on our setup fee. We'll set it up for you, right? And then it's now going to cost you $2,500 a month for us to manage. You've got to give us $1,000. You've got to give us $1,500 a month. The $4,000 a month, we'll take care of everything for you. You've got to close one deal and you cover the cost. Are you in? All 5 people said, I'm in. So he went from teaching to very quickly them seeing the complexity for them going, you know what, we'd like you to do it for us, Josh. 5 clients, right? $20,000 in recurring revenue in less than a week by doing this. So teach what you know, right? Create a simple report, an idea, or a strategy that can get results for your prospective clients. Show people your best stuff. I've been on here now for more than 50 days and I've been showing some of my best stuff. You know what? There are people here on this call who've not applied my best stuff and not gotten a result, right? And I know that they won't. And maybe one day they'll choose to work with me and actually make it happen and get some results, right? Like all the other people who get results who apply the stuff that I teach, right? So create a simple report, show a prospect your secrets, give it away, drip feed an idea over 4 or 8 days. Say, hey, I'm going to do the next 8 days and I'll literally break it down and show you how to solve that particular problem in the marketplace. I'd love to get your feedback on it. Start to engage, right? Follow up for feedback, make an offer to share how you can benefit how they can benefit from your idea, right? And away you make a sale. Offer a strategy session for them to see how it applies to them. Here's the idea. Here's the problem we're solving. Here's part A, part B, part C, part D. Part E is, why don't we get together and have a chat about how you can apply this strategy? If you've liked what you've seen, let's get together. So you can do this in automation. You can do this in a drip. Now, here's the thing. One thing that people are going to get caught up in here is, I've got to create all the stuff. No, you don't. It's going to take you half an hour to create it. You just do it once a day. Half an hour, great, going to get it out. Let people know, get some feedback. You don't need to have the whole thing set up. You don't need to create the entire process, right, before you get it going. That's what I call the ducks and the do's. The ducks in the rows. I've got to get everything ready and make it perfect. And 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks later, I'm not making any money, right? The do's are just going to go and offer it before they create it, right? I just create it along the way, right? That's what you want to do. Very, very simple strategy, works very well. Your market cannot buy anything from you until you offer them something that they can buy. I often say to people say to me, John, how do I get big clients, right? How many people here I just want to quickly, who wants to sign up clients that pay you between $5,000 and $10,000 a month? Just go yes. Who wants clients right now that will sign up and pay $5,000 to $10,000 a month? Just say yes. I just want to see how many people want 60,000, 100,000 clients. We sign up clients like this every single day, right? Everybody, Eric wants, yeah, this is not a trick question, right? Do you want clients to pay you $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month for your services? Simple answer, yes or no, right? So here's the question, right? Right now, of all the people who have said yes, how many people have actually got a pitch, a program, right? A product, a program that right now that they are pricing at $10,000 a month? Who's actually got that in place? Anybody? It's going to be really hard to get a $10,000 a month client if you don't have a $120,000 strategy that's going to generate $1 million for the client. Brian says working on it. Working on it, Brian, doesn't mean that it's happening, right? You could be working on it for the next 3 months, right? I'm talking about, mate, right now, some of you are offering services that clients could already be paying $5,000 for. But if you don't offer it to them for $5,000 a month, they're not going to buy it. They can't pay it, right? So that's the thing, right? If you don't offer it, they can't buy it. That's how stupid this is. I get people saying, he's like, how do I get that $100,000 client? Well, what's your $100,000 offer? I don't have one. Well, it's going to be really hard to get a $100,000 client if we don't have a $100,000 offer, yeah? Let's start with the offer first. And then if we're going to make a $100,000 offer, what is the result that the client's going to get from that $100,000 that they spend with you, right? Are they going to make $1 million for the $100,000? Because that's what you've got to give them back if you're going to charge them $100,000. You got to, the least you're going to give them is $500,000, $500,000. If I put $100,000 down on the table, I want $500,000 back. Otherwise, we're not doing business. So you've got to show me how I'm going to make $500,000 out of your $100,000, right? So that's the key, right? You want $100,000 clients that have a deal that's worth $100,000 that's going to generate between $500,000 and $1 million worth of revenue for the client. You have that offer and you will easily sell that program, easily. Because you walk up to the client and say, listen, 5-to-1 return. And let me show you how you're going to get a 5-to-1 return. And by the way, it's really easy to get a 5-to-1 return. Yeah. Michael, the Facebook funnels I was selling to estate planners, I can sell them the same thing, sell exactly the same thing to better clients. Yeah. Just sell it to bigger clients with bigger budgets because I look at $5,000 and they go, that's a no-brainer. One of our champions, Simon and also Tracy, they got into their heads where they were selling their services were really $1,500, $2,000 a month, right? I got into their heads and say, listen, all this work and energy and effort you put into play, how much revenue does a client make? Right now, let's look at some of your clients, how much money they're making. So Tracy sits there and looks at this client and says, well, this client's paying me $3,000 a month, but shit, in the last 8 months, we've made them more than $1 million, right? They've paid us $24,000 and we've made them $1 million worth of revenue. That's an absolute freaking bargain. And I said, great. So what do you think we should charge for this? She said, we should charge $10,000 a month straight away, right? So guess what? She goes, offers it to a client for $10,000 a month. Now, this was a bigger client. And the client said, yes, right? Yes, because she sat there and said, $1 million worth of outcome in 8 months, right? $10,000 a month, worth $100K per month on average. By the way, and that was the client that got the $1 million worth of revenue, wasn't even following up. They could have made double the amount of money. So what Tracy was putting in front of the client was a no-brainer, right? And so guess what? The client paid the money up front, not $10,000 a month, $100K. Simon, $60,000 up front for setup fee, up front, because the company was big enough. They're used to writing checks for $100,000. They're not going to sit there and book you up for a month-to-month payment. They're just going to pay the bill because they're used to writing checks for that amount, right? So you want $10,000 clients per month clients, then make a product that's worth $10,000 that's going to get between $50,000 and $100,000 return for that $10,000. Do that and you have a license to print money, right? And by the way, a little bit of a secret here, at the top end of the market, there's very little competition. There's nobody offering ads to the big players at $1,500 a month. Up here, they're paying $50,000 to $100,000 a month, right? I remember I was talking to Patrick, $70,000 a month, right? Management fee, not ad spend, management fee, $70,000 a month, right? You know how much competition is in his market? None. Nobody's offering, right, at that level, yeah? So interesting scenario. Okay, so if you want to make bigger money, offer a bigger product, right? So next, offer often, right? I want to know, like, I don't need you to know what your offer is, but you need to ask yourself a question right now. Is there an offer out there that I've got? And can I follow that offer up? That's the question you need to ask. If that answer is no, then you know what you got to do. Go make an offer, right? So fast tracking cash. This is fast tracking cash in the business, right? 1 to 2 hours per day, just to income generating activity. Is going to break this down for you and show you how this works, right? 1 to 2 hours a day, income generating activity, right? So $3 signs is a primary income generating activity. $3 signs is a primary income generating activity, right? A secondary income generating activity is a $1 sign, right? $1 sign, right? A OS equals outsourced tasks that have less value, right? Outsourced to somebody else rather than you wasting your time or investing your time to deliver on that service. Okay, that's number one, right? Number 4, time wasting activities for your own time. So TW is the indicator that it is a time wasting activity. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. This is really, really simple, right? So primary income generating activities, right? Sending out invoices to get paid, following up invoices to get paid, right? Calling existing clients to buy more from you, upsell. If you've got clients right now that you're serving and you know they can benefit from an additional service, offer it to them. So, hey, I've been thinking about you and I've been thinking about this thing. We've been getting some results here, but you know what? If we could double down on this thing, you'll get a better result. Would you like to try this thing? We did this a few months ago where we were adding omni retargeting, multi-channel retargeting as part of a service. And we were charging $2,000 for the service. So we went to our clients and said, listen, we're doing Facebook ads, we're doing some AdWords campaigns. Who's interested in doing some multi-channel retargeting? And we're going to offer it to you at an entry-level price, $2,000 a month, right? Plus, we'll include the first 2 months. We'll include the ad spend. We'll actually pay for your ads in the first 2 months, right? For the campaign. We went and offered that to our existing clients, right? 18 of our existing clients came back to us and said, we're in. We're in, right? So we picked up $36,000 a month in recurring revenue in 1 day by just offering an upsell service that was relevant to our existing clients to support what we're doing. It's going to cost you $2,000 a month. We'll cover the cost of ad spend for the first 2 months. Anybody in? Right? 18 people came back and said, we're in. Right? $36,000 a month in recurring revenue. That is, what's that? $36,000 a month. That's roughly $400,000 a year in revenue that we picked up in just making one offer 1 day to an existing customer. Who are you working with right now that you can add value to that should be spending more with you? And go back and teach them why they should be spending more and make an offer to them. Fastest way to make money. People who already know you will buy more from you, right? Following up an offer you've made is a primary income generating activity. You made an offer, they need to think about it, you need to close the deal. So you've got to follow up. That has to be a priority in your day. Who am I going to follow up? Within 24 to 48 hours is where you want to have a follow-up period, 24 to 48 hours after the presentation. After 24 to 48 hours, you have to go no, right? If you don't start this program, I'm going to consider this as a no, right? So you've got to take that emotional baggage off. Then that person goes into your database of all those quotes you didn't close. At the end of the month, you go back and you try again, and then you try again, and you try again. And before you know it, you've got a deal flow of generating hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of revenue in your business, just like Ken, one of my champions, does every single month, because he's worked that system and built that cadence so that at any given month, Ken has $700,000 worth of deals that he needs to follow up, and he knows that he can bring in between 70 and 100 grand a month in new deals in his business every single month. And he works with a team of three people, right? And they're pulling in 100 grand a month. New sales every month, right? Because he's built a deal flow of between, he has the magic number for him is between $700,000 and $900,000 a month in deal flow. And he says, well, if I've got that much follow-up to do, I'm going to close 100 grand. So it took him a little while to build that up. It didn't actually take him very long, but when he built that up, every month there's new deals. Some deals close on the spot. Some deals are closing in the follow-ups. Some deals are closing in the going back there and reigniting the sale, right? So following up money, primary object. Sending out an offer, primary income generating activity. If you're going to send it out, you want to follow it up. Don't send it out to thousands, send it out to 10, 15, follow it up. At the end of the day, the idea that all of us should have in our head is we need to get to our next client. We need to hire the next customer every 10 days, right? So make an appointment for a pitch is a primary income generating activity. making an appointment to present, to pitch, qualifying a customer, solidifying the appointment, the presentation, right? That is a primary income generating activity. So anything that is in this list is a triple dollar sign in front of it. If you don't have any one of these things in your list, you need to make it your priority every day for 1 hour, right? So secondary income generating activities, right? Creating a campaign, sitting down, crafting, writing a campaign, secondary. Without launching it, it's not a primary. It has to, that's creating it is secondary. You know, Alan, you've been sitting there working on building the high ticket offer, right? I don't know how many weeks, days, months you've been doing that, but whilst that high ticket offer isn't being offered to the marketplace, right? That's a secondary income generating activity, right? Not primary, right? Creating a new product. I'm going to create a new product. I'm going to do a new thing, right? Creating content for inbound marketing. I'm going to put up a blog post, a video. We're going to put it out there, make an offer to make an appointment. I'm going to put that up there. Secondary. Setting up a promotional campaign and launching it, right? I'm going to set up the campaign and go for a launch, right? Secondary activity. Creating landing pages and sequences. I'm going to have a new landing page, new appointment funnel. I'm going to set that up. Secondary income generating activity, right? Social media, events, strategic alliances. Going to go and develop a strategic alliance. Going to go and do some social media. Going to do, get involved in creating events or being part of events, right? Secondary income generating activity. That's not to say that you cannot derive income from these things. You can. But in terms of direct money in your bank account at speed, these things take time, so they're secondary. They all contribute to money. That's why there's a dollar value in front of it, but they are not going to give you money right now today. Those other things that I talked about in the previous slides, they're going to put cash in your bank account today, right? If you do that, you're going to speed up the process of cash, right? So outsourced activity, OS is the designator. One of the things that I want to do is if I see a task and I look at my time as my cost, if I can see that it's going to cost me less than $50 an hour to solve the problem, then I'm giving it to somebody else. I don't need to solve that problem. My time is way more valuable to go and close a $60, $100 million deal. That's where my time should be spent, not doing tasks that I can actually give to somebody else, right? So, in fact, I did this yesterday, right? I had a task, had a team member. I was going to do it. I thought, hey, it's only going to take me 15 minutes. But I know when I say that to myself, it's only going to take me 15 minutes. It's going to take me 2 hours, right? I'm just going to fix that landing page for that client. I'm not going to bother the team. I'll just get it done. And 3 hours later, I'm still freaking testing and fixing the landing page, right? Outsource what you should not be doing, right? Website development. Don't develop your own website. Pay somebody else to do it for you, right? Copywriting. Pay somebody. If you don't know how to do great copywriting, then don't be a copywriter. It's a great skill to learn. Every marketer and every great salesperson, every guru I know that's a friend, that I'm a friend or that I follow, knows copy is powerful. Learn it as a skill, but outsource it if you want great results. We have 2 teams. We have an in-house copy team and we have an outsourced copy team. We pay $10,000 a month to the outsourced copy team to create amazing content and amazing campaigns in-house, right? We paid Dan Kennedy $120,000, sorry, 140 grand to write 1 sales page for us. $140,000 to write 1 sales page. But that sales page has generated millions of dollars in sales. And we still pay him a percentage. We pay a profit share on that sales page, right? On that strategy, right? So 140K, you're going to get a pretty amazing job, right? Outsource your copywriting. Coding, anything that you're programming, are going to do this little tweaking. Content creation, don't create content. If you're going to create content, you want to push it out fast. So you don't want to overthink this. You don't want to make it as pretty as possible. You start getting into that, then outsource the content creation. But if you're going to do a quick video, say, hey, here's an idea. If you're interested, get a call, and you can do that in 2 minutes, and you can send that out. Like I do this all the time, right? I'll sit there and I'll make a video for a customer and say, listen, we haven't spoken in a while, or we need to speak. I've got this new idea. Can we get on the phone? Here's my link in the calendar. Just book a time. I cannot tell you how many people just go and book a time, right? Just by that little thing, by touching base personally with a little video message using Loom or BombBomb or whatever service you want to get out to the marketplace, right? But creating content, right, without implementation or action, that is a waste of time, right? In the immediate. If we're talking about getting cash flow now, it's not going to get you cash flow now, right? OS, market research. I always outsource market research. I don't need to do market research. There's plenty of people who are really good at market research. They'll drill down. I found many people on Upwork for like $100. So I paid somebody on Upwork one time. $50. I paid them $50. I said, listen, I need to do some research on this particular industry. I just need you to find the best examples. And here's a couple of places that I would go looking. I would give them some information to go looking. But I'd love to, based on what you know, just give me the top 5 ideas that are going to have the best impact, right? 2 days later, right, I get a 300-page document. 2 days later, right, itemized, $50. Best research on this particular strategy for a particular market. So what did I do with that report? I bound it, right? I got it published and I sold it for $800 a report. It cost me $50 and I sold it for $800 per report. Sold heaps of them in the marketplace, right? Didn't pay, the research was done for me. The report was created for me. They knew, like I told them, look, I put all this together, it's 300 pages of latest stuff, but the first 3 key areas will have the greatest impact. Who wants it, right? And I just put an offer on it and I just sold it. But it also generated clients. Market research, outsource it to somebody else. There are people out there who are highly skilled, much faster, will find things better than you can, right, and get them done. If I want to know something and I need to understand something at a higher level, I will go and hire the best consultant in the market and say, listen, I just need an hour of your time to explain to me in that hour the exact concept that I need to get, right? How much would you charge me? It is amazing how many people will say, John, for $200, let's do it, right? $100, let's do it. $500, let's do it. I've paid $2,000 for an hour of somebody's time, and that $2,000 was a game changer for my business, right? So if you can outsource it, do it, right? Because your time is more valuable getting into making sales and revenue, right? Prospecting, lead generation, outsource it. In Breakthrough, we have a lead generation person, we have an appointment setting person, and we have a sales person. They are all contractors. The lead generator is a contractor, the appointment setter is a contractor, and the salesperson is a contractor. Commission only all the way through, right? So it costs us about $300 a month, $300 to $600 a month for a person just to find and get leads. And then it costs us per appointment, $50 per appointment, 10 appointments, $500, 20 appointments, $1,000, right? For an appointment center. So for $1,600 a month, right? If I can get 10 appointments max, like a basic average, 10 appointments, my worst case scenario is to close 2 deals. If my average deal is $60,000, that's 120 grand. So I'm going to pay $1,600 for 120 grand. Good deal? Good deal. Outsource it. Outsource your lead generation, outsource your prospecting. Damien Papworth's here from Globetel Marketing. He has a LinkedIn service that you can use to generate leads through LinkedIn, through his strategy. You don't have to do it. His team can do it at a very ridiculously inexpensive cost, right? Outsource your prospecting, right? So time-wasting activity. TW is the designation on a time-wasting activity. Email watching. Watching your emails all day long, watching, email, rabbit hole, right? Russell Brunson sending the new webinar, and we go click, and then we go click to the landing page, and then we go watch the video, and then we might buy the self-eliminating offer for $7 or $15, and then we get upsold into a $49 audio, and then from the $49 we get upsold into a $300 program, and before you know it, you've spent an hour of your time or 2 hours of your time listening to somebody else's story, buying shit that you're never going to use and implement, right? Even though it might be some really cool stuff, but you have gone down the rabbit hole. Email watching, don't do it, right? Watching videos. Hey, I know you're here with training with me and I get that, right? But I am also a distraction for you, right? If you don't implement anything that I share with you from today, and I'm going to ask you the question, you've wasted your time here. This time that you've given me, that your valuable time that you have given to me, to listen to me, to tell you about some stuff that you could do to generate money, if you don't apply what I teach you, you have wasted this time, right? I don't want you to waste your time. I want to make it happen, right? But watching videos for the sake of watching videos, thinking that you are actively engaging and learning, that's horseshit. You're not actively engaging, learning anything. You only learn something when you actually apply it. That's when you learn something, is when you apply it, right? So reading blogs, right? Reading some cool blogs. No. Time wasting, right? Because it doesn't impact. Checking out the latest webinar, right? There's always going to be the latest webinar. There's going to be another webinar. I'm doing a webinar every freaking day, right? I'm a distraction, okay? Right? I'm trying to give you the best value possible from the time that I'm taking of you, but checking out the latest webinar, hopping on and registering. How many people here, I'd love to know this. How many people here have registered for a webinar, right? How many people registered for a webinar and not shown up to the webinar? Type 1. How many people watch the webinar video, register for the webinar, and not shown up? So, you know, and sometimes somebody might be doing this 2 or 3 times a week, right? So, you know, add those 2 or 3 times you watched the video, thought about going, hit the subscribe button, then open the thing, click this, download the PDF. You're wasting hours of your time never to do anything with it. It's crazy, right? We are in a bright and shiny object world. Checking out the latest webinar, total waste of time. Doesn't generate any money in your bank account. Sit there watching gloomily into the distance, hoping and praying the money is miraculously going to appear because you watch somebody's webinar, right? I know I'm being facetious when I'm doing that, when I'm saying that. So unpacking the latest funnel. Hey, I saw this funnel, right? You know, Anthony Robbins has got this great funnel with Dean Grazioso. I'm going to unpack the funnel. I'm going to download all the email. I'm going to study the funnel and see how it works. And then I'm going to never apply it for myself, right? Unpacking funnels, total waste of time. Let me tell you, I know this because I've unpacked a lot of funnels. In fact, I'm paying for a monthly subscription service that I'm paying for that actually gives me in real hard copy, not just electronic copy, the best operating converting funnels on the planet. And can anybody guess how many times I have actually read that document that comes to me every single month? Because I can tell you right now, for the last 6 months, I've been receiving them, but I haven't read a single one of them, right? So I'm paying this money for the best funnels in the world. And you know what? If I don't take any action on those funnels are no longer going to be the best funnels. They're going to be other funnels that are the best funnels, because funnels don't last, right? They don't last for the test of time, right? You know, this idea of one funnel away, you have to build 300 funnels or 600 funnels to get to that one funnel away from your $1 million, right? It's a great catch cry, you know, brilliant marketing in terms of doing it. But don't unpack the latest funnel unless you're going to apply that funnel to your business. What I mean by apply, you're actually going to freaking make it, create it, do it, launch it, right? That's an application. Time waster, Facebook and Instagram watching, right? Watching the little messenger notifications, watching somebody pinging, somebody commenting on your post that you made, somebody watching your video, right? Time wasting, time wasting, time wasting. I actually, on my mobile, on my phone, every time what I do is I actually delete the app off my phone. I delete the Facebook app off my phone, right? So when I want to post something, I've got to download the Facebook app so that I can post something on Facebook. And then when I finish doing what I do, I delete the app so that it's not in my freaking feed, right? That's the thing. Facebook, Instagram, time wasting, yeah? So watching TV, right? People right now, you know, I need some relax. I need some entertainment. I got to relax. I got to fade my brain, right? You know, this is what's creates inertia, right? Buying bright and shiny objects that you won't implement, right? Buying bright and shiny objects. I can tell you, I bought a bright and shiny object from one of my friends, right, who had a great campaign, because I got caught in the trap of, hey, isn't this an interesting funnel that I'm going to follow? And hey, I'm just going to buy everything that he just sold me. And so I bought the little entry offer, then I bought the upsell, then I bought the double upsell, and then I bought the triple upsell, and I spent $2,500. And you know what? I haven't implemented a scratch of it. However, I will say this. I actually will be implementing the strategy, because I've given the whole training to my team last week, and I said, great, we're going to have a meeting and apply what we learned here. But here's the thing. I didn't need to buy that stuff. I already actually know all that stuff. The reason I bought it was I was attracted to the marketing, right? I thought, hey, I'm a marketer, I'm a buyer, right? I'm a buyer, by the way. I'm putting up my hand. You want to sell me something? I'll buy it. I'm one of those ideal customers. If I like the idea, if I love marketing, I'm just going to buy it off you, right? I'm a buyer, right? I'm a buyer. There's a lot of people who are buyers out there, right? Understand that doing the bright and shiny object thing, unless you implement, so this is something that I did years ago. In fact, I did it about 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I made a decision that if I was ever going to buy and invest in a product or a program, I had to implement it immediately. I have to implement it within the week, preferably within 24 hours. I've got to implement something that I've learned, something that I bought from within 24 hours. Now, since I took that moratorium, I've been very picky and choosy about what I buy, right? I've been very picky and choosy. So I don't invest as many tens of thousands of dollars I have in the past in programs, right? So if I buy something, if I like it, I think, yeah, I want to learn that thing. Sometimes I'm spending 5 or 10 grand just for one part of the piece in the puzzle, right? One little thing is going to pay the investment sometimes 10, 20, 100 times over. I cannot tell you how many programs I've spent thousands of dollars on that have made millions of dollars in sales, right? So for me, if you're going to buy something, or you're going to do the bright shiny object, the real litmus test is, I've got to diarize the action. I've got to put in my calendar, I've got to diarize the action, got to make it work, and got to make it happen, right? So these are the TWs, right? So here's the action steps from today, right? Number one, write down your daily routine. What's your routine, right? Then what I want you to do is place an identifier to the tasks that have a triple dollar sign, income generating, primary income generating, a dollar sign to a second income generating, an OS, something that you could outsource, a time waster, and something that's a time waster. So think about your day. I don't want you to do this exercise now, but if you did this exercise, I would highly encourage you to do this. If there's one thing you take away from today, you apply this exercise. Think about your day. Think about the day. Let's say tomorrow, you do this tomorrow, and you walk through the day, and if every 10 or 15 minutes or every hour or so, just go back and go, I did this in this hour. What category does it fit in? Triple dollar sign, single dollar sign, outsourced, TW. Write them down, right? Write your activity in the day down. Then have a look at the activity, right? Have a look at the activity and go, hey, how productive and effective I am. I'll guarantee you most of you will very rarely have a triple dollar sign, right? Adjust your routine for a triple dollar for 1 hour per day. Make an appointment, a doctor's appointment. If you're in the dentist's chair, nobody can email you, nobody can text message, you can't respond, you can't watch videos, you can't do anything because you've got a dentist with their fingers or hands in your mouth, right? So you're stuck. So why not make a doctor's appointment for your 1 hour of triple income generating, primary income generating strategy and tactic? Why not do that per day, right? Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that, right? So here we go. Set a permanent time for income generating activity in your calendar. In my calendar, there are 2 sections in my calendar that are totally dedicated to primary income generating activity. In that income generating activity is I'm moving the deal forward. I'm making a deal, I'm offering a deal, I'm asking somebody to pay me money 2 times a day, right? How do you think we're going? We're doing okay? Think we're doing okay with 2 times a day income generating activity? I think I'm doing all right. I could do more. What I do now is we get the team doing exactly the same thing, right? We get our team to implement a triple primary income generating activity in their calendar. Now I've got 8 people doing it. 8 people, 8 hours of income generating activity. What do you think is going to happen or is happening to our business? Going through the roof, right? In a time of crisis and craziness and blah, blah, blah. I can give you several of my champions that last month generated more than 4 sales, 4 clients last month in the middle of lockdown. In the middle of lockdown, looking after kids, looking after family, looking after other people and working from home with all the boundaries being broken, still managing to get 4 clients on board last month, still managing to upsell existing clients, still managing to add $300,000 in cash and revenue last month. In the middle of all this bullshit that's going on, still doing that. Why is that happening? Why do you think they're doing it and most people don't, right? Why do you think they're making money? Love to know your feedback. Why do you think those people who have been working hard, they're looking after kids, they're doing all this sort of stuff, why do you think they're cashing in, right, and other people aren't cashing in? Can anybody give me the reason? Just type it in. I'm open to all suggestions, right? Type it in. Yeah, action and routine, absolutely. Action and routine, right? Time management and focus. Yes, focus is a big word here. They focus on the important things in their business. They focus on helping a client on board, right? Any other suggestions of why? Yeah, focus is good. Yes, Eric. What else? Why else do you think the champions that I'm working with are generating between 4, some of them generating 8? We've had one champion generated 15 clients last month. 15 clients in a month, right? That's insane, yeah? Outsource all secondary tasks. Yes, they do. Right? Only money generating activities. They are focusing on an important part of the business is who are we bringing on as a client today? That is the conversation that they are having with themselves and with their team every single day. That is the conversation I have with my team every single day. What are we doing today to put the cash in the bank? Right? That's the goal. Okay. So, interesting. So, I'm going to introduce you to Lisa. Lisa runs a company called Content Maximizer. She has built a behemoth of a business. She built a lifestyle business. 5 to 6 figure offers, works with some of the biggest direct sales organizations in the world, actually invested in, she bought with a franchise company that she was actually consulting to. She decided to buy a franchise for herself and market that franchise. And she's now one of the most successful franchisees in a market that she has no expertise in, but she knows how to market stuff, right? 2 strategies, 250K. Her thing was, the biggest thing with Lisa is she is an executor. right? Hey, I'll take the idea. It doesn't have to be fully formed or fully functional. I'm just going to give it a shot. Whenever Lisa did this, she ended up with feedback. She got 2 pieces of feedback. 1, she progressed forward and moved forward to generating revenue. 2, she learned what not to do. But the only reason why Lisa became successful is because she applied herself, right? She implemented all the stuff that we talked about, right? Dan Meredith, some of you might know who Dan is. Dan is Coffee with Dan, runs a fantastic Facebook group. His whole thing is getting shit done. He's an amazing copywriter, a brilliant copywriter. When I first started with Dan, he was broke, right? He would tell you himself, he was sitting there looking for opportunity, wanting to change things, and, he needed to take action and make things happen, right? And so when I first got to Dan, I actually wasn't sure I wanted to work with Dan. I said, Dan, you got to figure some things out, right? But he was persistent, being the consummate professional that he is, and says, I don't care. By hook or by crook, I'm going to do exactly what you told me to do, John. And he did that, and he built an agency within $500,000 in 4 months. Copywriting. He built a copywriting agency, $500K in 4 months. $500K in 4 months from scratch, right? Copywriting has clients all over the world, worked with some of the biggest marketers on the planet, or biggest fitness marketers on the planet. Right, an amazing guy. Highly recommend you follow Coffee with Dan. Anybody who's out there on Facebooks, his stuff is incredible, impeccable. He's written books on productivity and effectiveness. He took my doctor's appointment concept and applied it in his own business, and applied it to now his customers around the world, and they get amazing results from doing that. So Dan, by applying and implementing, $500K in 4 months, not a bad deal. Right? Mark Condell. First 2 clients ever, 6-figure deals, never been in business before in his life, never sold anything like marketing services his entire life. First 4 weeks, 2 6-figure deals, right? 20 to 30 hours a week. He did $400,000 in deals in the first 6 months of his business, 400 grand in the first 6 months of his business. For services, that's his money. It's not paying for ad spend or anything like that. That's what he collected. Right? Specialized in private education niche, an amazing man. The reason why he built this business, lifestyle. Just wanted to spend more time with his kids. He literally got kicked out of a job and then decided, you know what, I'm either going to go and find another job, or I can build a business and build a lifestyle and spend more time with my kids. And that's exactly what Mark did. So he now has a license to go and print money because he's built a system that he sells over and over and over again. He also enjoys more time with his family, takes lots more vacations, builds an incredible business, right? Jasper Brown, one of the most unique individuals that I have ever worked with, because this guy has got a heart of gold. If you ever meet Jasper, he is a giant of a man. He's huge, very tall, right, guy, but didn't know anything about marketing when he started with me. In fact, it was a person that I probably wouldn't have chosen to work with. I would have said, one of the things I said to Jasper, listen, man, you need to go and get burnt. You need to go buy other people's courses and programs and get burnt and learn the marketing side of things, do what everybody does, pay the price, right? And he sat down with his wife, Patrice, and said, look, no, I want to do it. I don't care. Win, lose or fail, I want to do this, John, right? In his first 6 weeks, he managed to get 3 clients at 5 figures each. Never done AdWords advertising. He was working full time for Chicago Power as a power linesman, one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, right? Had to get out of that job, right? That's why he decided to build a business. But part-time, he built a business to 150K per month in revenue in 15 months. Part-time, right? Has 10 clients in one niche, 60 to 70K in revenue just from one little niche, right? 10 clients per month, right? Has gone on to quit his day job. He quit his day job because he replaced his income by 5 times when he decided to quit. He could have quit earlier, but he thought he's the guy who's very important, safety, family, security, all that sort of stuff. And then he quit. Then he went full time, right? And he is now accelerating growth of his agency. This is just to show you what happens when you apply yourself to the ideas that I've been sharing with you. So do it and you'll become it. One of my favorite sayings, right? It's not fake it till you make it, because if you fake it, you're not doing shit, right? You're not doing anything. But if you do it, do the thing, learn the thing you need to do, get the feedback, make the mistakes, break the mold, you will become the very thing that you say you want to become, because you are taking action and implementing what we do in the market. So for those of you, by the way, we have reached the milestone for this event. Those of you who bought tickets for the consultingunleashedlive.com Sales Blitz Intensive, thank you so much, because right now we've had an impact on over 1,750 people's lives have been impacted. Over 100 children are going to have their education paid for an entire year. So I'm getting a little bit choked up on this one. But this is all thanks to you, to those people turning up these daily sessions, and it's thanks to those people who are going. I am going to close the doors to the ticket sales very, very soon. Like I said, we've hit the goal. I was going to close it. I've had a whole bunch of people say, no, don't close it. I'll take care of it. So we will leave it open for the next couple of days before we close the door. If you haven't bought a ticket, it's $97. It's a 4-hour masterclass with me on blitzing sales. I'm going to show you a lead source and how to get those leads in verified emails and decision makers of decent industries. Hot niche markets, going to share with you 20 crafted campaigns that you can use have already been tested and have converted in sales. These are punchy, short emails strategies that are going out to the market. I'm going to give you a 5 simple step sales process. If you follow the sales process, it allows the client to step into the sale with you. I'm going to show you how to close on agreement and a cash payment upfront in the sale. So I'll walk through that close with you. Sales fulfillment or service fulfillment done for you. The concept of using resource partners to leverage and scale faster. The plan is to get 6 deals in 60 days. So that's 1 deal every 10 days over a 2-month period. All the recordings, all the slides will be provided. But the most important thing is this $97 ticket will buy lanterns, solar lanterns and lighting for 10 families that don't have electricity. It will help 5 women to get vocational jobs training so they can gain independence and support their families. And it's also going to pay for the education for an entire year for 1 disadvantaged child. That's probably the most important part of this ticket. It's $97. If you go to consultingunleashedlive.com, and make sure you purchase that ticket. The event is on Saturday, the 23rd of May, which is a few days away. It starts at 11 a.m. PST. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be fast-paced, lots of action, lots of tactical things. I'm going to share with you exactly some of the best stuff out there in the market to walk you through that opportunity, and all of that is provided. When you pay the $97, you're going to be invited into a private chat group with me. You're also going to be having access to a password-protected members area where you'll get access to the trainings. There's also a training already in there right now. So if you haven't bought a ticket, please grab a ticket. It's $97. Not a big ask, but let me tell you, the value that I'll bring to you will be extraordinary, and it's value that you'll be able to expend from for some time to come. So if you've been enjoying these sessions, can't wait to see you in the training. For those of you who've already purchased a ticket, I thank you so much for supporting this cause. I really, really appreciate that you've done that. We are going to impact. We've impacted on a lot of people's lives in this process. So. Brian says, Brad, glad to be part of a good cause. Thank you. Awesome. So I'm happy to answer a question if you've got any questions. I know that we've come to the hour, but if you have a question for me, I'm happy to answer a question. Otherwise, I'm going to say thank you and wish you all well. Hopefully, this is a really good training. Love to know what you're going to take away from today and imply. What are you going to implement? Just type it in. What's your takeaway? Takeaways is Brian, just do it. When you say just do it, Brian, which thing to do? Which one thing are you going to do in just doing? That's the question that I'd like the answer to. Sell the bigger clients. Yeah, sell the bigger clients. So do that today. Target bigger companies. Make more offers more often. Yes. Make an offer today. What else? Who else? The takeaway from today's training. Schedule and manage my time. Yeah, absolutely. Just 1 hour a day, total income generating activity. Now, if you have that hour, you need to assess how well you went in the hour. The more you assess that, the better feedback, the better that hour is going to get, the more money you're going to make. Set fixed time each day to do the call for new biz. Yes. George, I like to teach what you know. Having an email sequence and put it on other platforms. Yes, absolutely. Any other takeaways? Sam says, going to launch the e-com offer to refocus existing brick and mortar service stores into online. Absolutely, Sam. That's a great market to go after. Be mindful of your daily activities. Yes, Chris, absolutely. So with that, I want to say thank you for being here. I really appreciate you hopping on these daily sessions. I am going to be here, same time, same BAT channel at 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. LA time. What 2 times do you dedicate to income generation? 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock. 11 o'clock and 3 o'clock. 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. is the 2 times for income generation. But that's the only time I had free in my calendar. Because if you saw my calendar, Eric, it's a sea of blues and yellows and reds and oranges. Yeah. All right. So By the way, I didn't choose those times because they were important times to choose. I just found 2 times. If I could make it 9 o'clock in the morning, I'd make it 9 o'clock in the morning. If I could make it 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it'd be 5 o'clock. The time doesn't matter, Eric. The time doesn't matter. The when doesn't matter. The fact that you're doing it does matter. That's the key. Right, with that, I want to thank you all for being here. I hope you got a lot out of today's training. Really appreciate you hanging in there. David Papworth, I am going to be calling you today. With that, I want to say thank you. Look forward to seeing you at the Consulting Unleashed Live Sales Blitz Intensive event on Saturday. Make sure that you show up on time. There's going to be some information coming out to those who bought tickets, just to give an update on some of the things to take into consideration, food and all sorts of things, breaks and things, so that you're comfortable listening to me for 4 hours. Plus, there's a little bit of a bonus that's going to be happening you're not aware of in that session as well. So with that, I want to thank you for being here. Please do implement. Please share your results. Love to hear from you. Type in the Facebook group if you've had some results. Would this be good for a new marketer? Yeah, newbies or people who are getting into business will get a lot out of the masterclass. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So with that, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for those who, in fact, we just had a person purchase it. Thank you very much for doing that whilst we've been talking here. Alan, thank you. I appreciate you buying a ticket. So with that, I want to thank you for being here. I'll see you same time, same back channel, 8 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Take care, everybody. Apply what you learn. Get some feedback. Love to hear the results. Take care.